This is what it is, time for your second video of the day. So I wanted to talk about her cinema a little bit. I wanted to talk more about obviously what I think of him now. I don't think me calling him a pervert is a false accusation. Like, I'm not somebody who, enjoys making false accusations against people. Like, I wouldn't make any sort of accusation against anyone unless I had, substantial proof and evidence that kind of backs up what I'm saying, because this is the thing, like, I do have a lot of proof and evidence that backs up what I'm saying. If people want to get an understanding of why I think Christian is a massive pervert, all people need to do is go on at the Ingham's channel and just look at the amount of videos they have uploaded that have been uploaded to the channel that have thumbnails with the girls in swimwear. I know Esme is, obviously Isabel's an adult, so it's not really a problem, but Esme and I, to me, that and that alone really does prove a point about the sort of person that Chris is. I'm not gonna stop shaming him for the fact that he films his in swimwear. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I think it's okay for him to be doing things like that, especially when he has that full intention of sharing it on a public social media platform. It's just, there's so many reasons why I don't agree with that. And I think a lot of it just stems down to the fact that, they don't know who's watching their vlogs and why they're watching their vlogs. Yet they'll still put footage like that of their kids out there on the public social media platform, knowing that anyone can see that and access that. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. They obviously don't care about the fact that it would be paedophiles and child predators watching their videos. They're basically selling it his to pedos on a plate. Well, that's what Chris is doing anyway with these thumbnails he uses for the videos. You can see exactly what he's trying to do. There's nothing innocent about what he's trying to do and the way he's going about it. It's just madness, really, and I don't know what else to say, because it's not, what else am I supposed to say? That hasn't already been said about this. Like, I don't feel bad. Honestly, I don't. I honestly don't feel bad for saying that Chris is a Ronan, and for saying that he's a pervert. Like, some people might think that I'm being too harsh on this, or might think that I'm being too negative about it, but I think, someone had to say it. Somebody had to call Chris out for this and, question the fact that he's using such disgusting thumbnails. Like, he knows what sort of audiences those thumbnails will attract. That's why he uses them. It's the same, the same argument can be made with Jonathan Jolie. I've spoken about him and his choice of thumbnails, and again, he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows who the thumbnails will attract. He's not insanely stupid. He's not as stupid as people think he is. He's incredibly, people don't, he's definitely not that stupid, in any sense of the word. And I think people need to start waking up and really seeing Chris, really start seeing Chris for who and what he really is. I don't care if people think that I'm making false accusations, because I know I'm not making a false accusation by saying that Chris is a massive pervert. I think anyone with an ounce of common sense knows that's the truth. I think a lot of people with common sense would look at those thumbnails and know exactly why he uses them and exactly what he's trying to do. Because it's very clear to see what he's trying to do. It's very blatantly obvious what he's trying to do. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to attract paedophiles and child predators to videos of his children by using thumbnails that he knows will attract that sort of audience. You know, this is the problem with most of their content these days. It feels like none of their content is being aimed at their actual fan. It feels like a lot of the content they put out there is being aimed purely at the haters. You know, it feels like they're going out of their way to give the haters something to talk about, you know. It just feels like that's what they're doing. It feels like they are going out of their way to try and provoke and antagonise the haters a lot of the time. Like, you see a lot of the things they do, you know, they're just blatant trolling, you know, at this point. You know, like, every single vlog they upload is a massive clickbait in some way, shape or form. You know, it's just so blatantly obvious to see. You know, I'm not going to apologise for having that opinion. You know, I'm not going to apologise for saying that I think that what Chris is doing is wrong. Because I don't see why I should have to apologise for that. I don't see why I should have to, you know... You know, I don't see why, you know, I don't feel like I'm making false accusations here, I really don't. You know, I just... You know, when I look at Chris, everything about him says massive pervert. You know, he's not someone that, if I was a parent, he's not somebody that I would want around my kids. I wouldn't want my kids near him. Like, he's not the sort of person that people should allow their kids to be around. You know, because he's not a good person. He's not, you know, he's basically a pervert. And people should basically keep their kids well away from him. You know, perverts like him should be off the streets and they should be locked up behind bars. You know, to be honest, I only wish that girl that spoke out about what Chris did to her, I only wish that she had been younger. Because if she had been younger, Chris would have been locked up. You know, it's just a shame that she was 16. You know, that was the only reason Chris was never ever locked up for what he did. You know, we all know that, you know, those that have common sense all know that Chris isn't innocent in any particular way. You know, there's nothing innocent about anything he ever does. He never has innocent intentions. You know, and that much is blatantly obvious to see that he never does have you know, innocent intentions. You know, I am not going to apologise for labelling Chris as a nonce or a paedophile or something like that, because that's exactly what Chris Ingham is: a nonce, a paedophile, a child groomer, a pervert. You know, am I going to apologise for calling him any of those things? No, I'm not. Because that's what I see when I look at Chris. I see a pervert, I see a child groomer, I see a pedo, I see a nonce. You know, it's just sad that some people can't see Chris for who and what he really is. A pervert, a paedophile, and a child grooming nonce. Because that's what Chris Ingham is down to, you know, in a nutshell. A pervert, a paedophile, and a child grooming nonce. And I'm not going to apologise for saying that. You know, I'm not prepared to hold back on the things I say anymore. It's just a shame that, you know, as I said before, I did this out on TikTok. It's just a shame you can't call somebody a pervert or a paedophile on TikTok. But that's exactly what he is. He's a pervert, a paedophile, and a child grooming nonce. Simple as that. You know, it's really that simple. You know, I don't doubt I'll be reporting tonight's vlog, because tonight's vlog will probably have plenty of footage of it hitting swimwear. I don't doubt. You know, it's just, I mean, I do feel sorry for those kids, you know, for those girls having a pervert for a father. You know, who is basically constantly using them as pedo bait. That's basically what he's doing. He's using his fucking kids as pedo bait. You know, he's using his 12-year-old and 15-year-old daughters as bait for pedophiles. And it's disgusting. That's what Chris is doing in a nutshell. He's making his targets for pedophiles and child predators by using thumbnails and showing footage of them in their swimwear. You know, of course that's going to make them a target. When he's showing things like that, of course that's going to make them a target for pedophiles and child predators. Why wouldn't it make them a target for those sort of people, for child predators and pedophiles? That's exactly what it's going to do. You know, and he doesn't stop to think about that. He's not stopping to think about the fact that he's making his children a target for pedophiles and child predators. That's not something that he's stopping to think about. And it is something that he needs to stop and think about. But he never will. Because he does not care. You know, you can see that Chris as a father does not care about the fact that he's basically making his children targets for paedophiles and child predators by showing footage of them, footage of those kids that he knows will attract those audiences. The guy is a fucking scumbag. He is a low-life wanker. He is a low-life wanker. Simple as that. You know, what else am I supposed to say about a guy that's basically making his pedo light handy? Because that's exactly what he's doing. He's making his light handy for paedophiles and child predators. And it's fucking disgusting in every single way possible. But that's enough said from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for another one soon. Adios.